I say, yeah. If you don't want to grab Ebola, maybe not do the grip and grab. That's, I hate to be this apprehensive or this paranoid, but, to err on the side of caution is always a wise decision.
You go here. You hurt a lot of good people in Texas. Because there's...
I gave my word. I gave a commitment. I understand your fears, and I think that means I will not shake any hands. I will go directly to the event. I will have my own microphone. I'll use bottles of Purell and chlorine if you want, and I'll do everything I can do to possibly not be close to people. And that'll make me seem like a snob. Thank you very much.
You think bottles of Purell is going to protect you from Ebola? Oh, boy.
Well,
jeez.
What do you want me to put on what would you prefer?
I would put on a body condom or at least a hazmat suit. What's wrong with you?
A body condom? What's a body condom?
Just a full-length prophylactic.
That's what Jason wears when he goes to Coyote Ugly.
Oh. Who put the Coyote Ugly calendar in my office today? Somebody in this.
Did you find it amusing?
It was amusing.
Who do you think put it there?
Lauren.
Yes, that's the answer, yeah. Lauren. Where did you get the Coyote Ugly calendar from?
Jason.
Oh, boy. All right, but we got to take a break here. Hey, most of you who file your income taxes late this year, by October the 15th, have a complicated financial life and a more detailed tax return. Now, our sponsor this half hour, Tax Defense Partners, it's the only firm that I recommend to resolve any tax issues you have with the government. They have what they call their high dollar group. Now, the same tax debt resolution firm that provide their services to every taxpayer, they have a top-notch, tight-knit team of CPAs and tax attorneys and IRS-enrolled agents that work for top taxpayers with $100,000 or more at stake in taxes, interest, penalties, or may be at risk of a tax audit. Now, as we close in here, October the 15th, here it is, the High Dollar Group at Tax Defense Partners. They're making a special offer to those of you who think, but maybe are not sure that you have a major tax problem. Now, I'll give you a special number to call directly right to their desk. Now, if you call over the next 2 weeks, they're going to pull your personal or business IRS transcript. They'll analyze it. They'll give you a complete rundown on what the IRS is seeing. They'll do it for free with no obligation. So if you think you may have a high dollar tax problem brewing, call the High Dollar Tax Group at Tax Defense Partners at 800-830-7777, 800-830-7777, 800-830-7777.
From coast to coast, from border to border, from sea to shining sea. This is the Sean Hannity Show.
Set the first button on your car radio for South Jersey's talk station, WPG Talk Radio 1450.
All right, whether someone you care about is celebrating a special occasion this week, like a birthday or anniversary, or you just want to brighten their day just because you love them, hey, take it from me, send them a bouquet of beautiful flowers from my friends at 1-800-Flowers.com. Listen, I send them to my wife regularly. She loves them. And since 1-800-Flowers wants to help you send out smiles, I've created this special offer just for you, my listeners. If you order 1 dozen fresh, stunning roses, you get another dozen and a vase for free. So in other words, 2 dozen roses and a vase, $29.99. That's a full bouquet of 24 roses, a beautiful vase, only $29.99. A great deal for you and gorgeous roses for them. Now send a smile to somebody you love today. Just go to 1-800-Flowers.com, use your desktop or mobile device, and click on the radio microphone in the upper right-hand corner and put in my last name, Hannity. That's 1-800-Flowers.com, my last name, Hannity, or just call 1-800-Flowers, mention my last name because there's somebody in your life that you love.
WPG Talk Radio 1450 is the only station in South Jersey that's giving you an opportunity to talk to both Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian and Governor Chris Christie back-to-back on the same night. Join us Wednesday evening, October 15th at 6 for our monthly Ask the Mayor program with Mayor Don Guardian. Then stick around for Ask the Governor with Governor Chris Christie at 7. Talk to both Mayor Don Guardian and Governor Chris Christie Wednesday evening, October 15th, only on WPG Talk Radio 1450.
Jeff Musial, the animal guy, as seen on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, is coming to Atlantic Camp Community College Saturday, November 15th. Come see Jeff as he gives us an amazing look at the world of exotic animals and reptiles. Jeff's recently appeared on The Today Show, as well as a regular on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, educating people of all ages about the many different animal species around the world. Now he comes to Mays Landing to entertain your family. Get your tickets on the events page at WPG1450.com. That's Saturday, November 15th with Jeff Musial, the animal guy.
Well, now we go to a true story, a really true story.
A Seattle man went to bed with nearly $300,000 in his bank account. By morning, the money had vanished. Why? Because of some identity thief. Can you imagine this? What if some thief got to your life savings? Look, no one could stop all identity theft, but here's what I did. I armed my bank and retirement accounts with LifeLock Ultimate Plus. Right, LifeLock's best just got better. LifeLock Ultimate Plus is the most comprehensive identity theft protection available. It helps protect your identity, your bank and retirement accounts, credit cards, even the equity in your home. How many other ID theft protection services do that? Zero. So why risk it? Do what I did. Get LifeLock Ultimate Plus and sleep easier, knowing if a thief does go after your identity or life savings, LifeLock's locked them out. Visit LifeLock.com now and enter promo code SAVAGE or call and mention SAVAGE to save 10% on your LifeLock Ultimate Plus membership. Get it through me. 800-838-9050. 800-838-9050. 800-838-9050. Network does not cover all transactions.
Here at Town Square Media, we're not your average radio group. From web design to e-commerce to social media and the latest in mobile technology, we employ an array of services to help our clients build their businesses. But we can't do it without a dedicated sales staff.
We're experiencing record growth, and we're looking for seasoned sales professionals with drive and determination to help us grow even more. We offer an excellent base salary with high commission rates and unlimited earning potential and full benefits. Plus, we offer major market experience without the major market commute.
At Town Square Media, you'll get the opportunity to make a real difference to thousands of local businesses, and you'll have a lot of fun along the way. If you're an experienced salesperson with a proven track record of success, then Town Square Media might have an opportunity for you.
To learn more about outside sales opportunities, contact Mike Rubel, Market Manager, at 609-645-9797. That's 609-645-9797. Town Square Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, would you invest your life savings in a stock or a bond knowing it returns zero reward while also putting your money at serious risk? I wouldn't. Well, according to Don't Bank on It, a vital new book by Craig R. Smith, your bank account is worse than this. It's a high-risk investment. You know, in fact, most depositors end up with a negative return after subtracting real-world inflation. And listen to this, the longer your money sits in the bank, the more you stand to lose. Today, your bank deposits are in danger from 20 major risks, from cyber criminals, money-hungry politicians, and too-big-to-fail bankers. Don't bank on it. The unsafe world of 21st century banking shows you how to save your savings and create a financial future you can bank on. Call now 800-289-2646. Write it down. 800-289-2646 now. You will get a free copy of Don't Bank on It, courtesy of Swiss America, or visit online at SwissAmerica.com, the only gold company you should trust. Call 800-289-2646. 800-289-2646, Swiss America. All right, that wraps things up for today. Tonight, Hannity, all things Ebola. The president literally gives up fundraising for a day. He may even give up golf one day. We'll have an update on what's happening. Also, the second patient, a health worker in Dallas, a second one contracting the virus. We're going to go to Dallas and update you on that situation. We'll look at the politics of Ebola. We'll meet the parents of that NBC cameraman infected with the Ebola virus. Also, we have the quarantine issue. We have the travel ban issue and the border issue. And you'll meet one of the pastors that has been told to hand over their sermons in Houston. 10 Eastern, Hannity on Fox. Thanks for being with us. Back here tomorrow.
All loans subject to one-deck score approval must be in business at least 1 year to apply. Attention small business owners in need of financing. Are you too busy running your business to deal with the slow lending process of your bank? Are you frustrated at the paperwork and delays just trying to get a simple decision? Then call On Deck, the A+ Better Business Bureau rated small business experts, where our simple application process takes just minutes and funding could be available in just one business day. At On Deck, we focus on your business operation and cash flow, not just your personal credit score. And we're ready to help with loans of up to $250,000. True business loans, not credit card advances. On Deck provides financing to a wide variety of small businesses like restaurants, plumbing, landscaping, trucking, and healthcare providers. If you're frustrated with the paperwork and long decision times of traditional lenders, call On Deck. Funding could be available in just one business day. We provided $1.5 billion to small businesses like yours. So speak with an On Deck today. Call 800-293-9166. 800-293-9166. 800-293-9166.
WPGG Atlantic City.
Keeping you and your business safe and sound is the job of Abatis Security. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your safety. The company that keeps Atlantic City safe, Abatis Security, is a full-service security firm offering highly professional uniformed security officers, concierge, valet, event staff, and executive protection. Local business owners can rest assured that Abatis will customize a security plan based on the individual needs of your business, recognizing that each client and each property is unique. Abatis will come to your business and provide recommendations to maximize the return on your security investment. And its corporate headquarters are right in Atlantic City. Abatis Security uses all the advanced technology available today, and they're recognized as a leader in the field of security. Abatis Security is currently accepting applications for all positions. Go to abatissecurity.com to apply. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your safety. Abatis Security, 520 Pacific Avenue in the Bella Building, Atlantic City. Online at abatissecurity.com. The Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is building a better future for our region through strategic initiatives to reposition Atlantic City as a clean and safe, multifaceted, year-round destination and community. Just because the calendar says summer is over doesn't mean the fun has to end. Enjoy Atlantic City's secret season with refreshing walks on the boardwalk and beach, great shopping at Tanger Outlets, an early morning bike ride on the boardwalk, spectacular bayfront views at historic Gardeners Basin, and much more. Exciting entertainment is on tap for this fall with championship boxing, AHL hockey, the annual classic car show, world-class concerts featuring Usher and Alanis Morissette, and free nightly 3D light and sound shows. Meanwhile, the CRDA continues to invest in Atlantic City with the repaving of Pacific Avenue, Atlantic Avenue facade improvements, and construction of nearly 400 new housing units, Bass Pro Shops, Harrah's Conference Center, and the Lighthouse District Park. Don't stop believing, AC.
Now, WPG Talk Radio 1450 presents Ask the Mayor, presented by the New Jersey Casino Reinvestment Development Authority and Abatis Security. It's your opportunity to ask Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian anything you want about the world's playground. To talk to Mayor Guardian, call 407-1450. That's 407-1450. Now, with Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian, here's Harry Hurley.
Good evening and welcome to Ask the Mayor, a very special doubleheader evening with Mayor Don Guardian for the next 60 minutes. Please don't be shy. Phone lines are open right now at Town Square Media, Atlantic City's WPG Talk Radio 1450. Michael Rubel, our market president, is here. Chris Coleman, our executive producer, is here. Our digital editor and executive producer, Kyle McCann, in the house. And, of course, the star of the program, Mayor Don Guardian, is here. This is a program devoted to you, the public, to give you the opportunity to pose your questions and ask the mayor. Mayor Don Guardian has made a priority every month, all year long, to take your phone calls once a month in a program that we announce a full month in advance when the next program is taking place. The next Ask the Mayor program will be Thursday, November 13th. There are a lot of ways that you can participate. Go to WPG1450.com. Get social with us here at Town Square Media, the region's leader in digital marketing. You can pose your questions on Facebook, on WPG Talk Radio 1450 at WPG1450.com. You can send the questions through us on the phone lines, which are already stacking up now at 609-407-1450 if you would like to be heard. That's why we do this, and I'll pose some questions in between your calls. Without further delay, let's welcome the star, Mayor Don Guardian. Good to see you, Mayor.
Good evening, Harry. Always good to be on Town Square Media.
Hard to believe it's been a month.
I know.
It's flying by.
It is.
And the challenges, though, never more significant. And let's start with one of them, and that is the concern that everybody has, because we're all directly affected. Every time a casino either closes or threatens that it could close, we're all affected by it. We have family members, friends, and when we see thousands of people at risk, It's obviously very, very painful. What's the latest? I know that it's in the hands of a judge. It seems to me like it's really hanging in the balance. What do you have to say about Trump Taj Mahal?
Yeah, it's waiting to hear about the judge, and it's going to be waiting to hear what Carl Icahn decides. I mean, I have to tell you, he has certainly done a great job over Tropicana. Tropicana has turned around over the last 10 years. I know they're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the quarter, but there's a property turned around. But they spent a lot of money reinvesting into the Tropicana, and Tropicana is going to reinvest again another $30-40 million over the winter by putting in the Hell Club restaurants. Unfortunately, that's not what happened at the Taj. So you let the property get run down. It's very sad.
How about you as mayor in a gaming town?
Yeah.
We lay some odds on the table. Is it more likely that the Trump Taj Mahal will close or that it will remain open?
See, I got to be going for it to remain open. I mean, Carl Icahn's a very smart guy. He's going to end up with the Taj either way. He's going to want it to be successful, and he's going to want to be the conference and convention king of Atlantic City, which he can be with the Tropicana and the Taj. So to close now is going to put the fear of God in everyone. Why would you book a convention, a wedding, any type of special party if they're closing now and you're afraid they're going to close again in the future?
Remember when they closed down, and it was the stupidest thing ever, when they closed down the casinos on July 4th weekend.
Sure.
It took several years for the meeting planners to trust Atlantic City again.
I know.
They said, hey, you're not fooling us again.
Exactly.
I mean, they put their reputations on the line, and you're bringing your people in, and the casinos are closed.
Right.
It took several years to get over that.
Yep.
I want to credit Assemblyman Brown because his leadership has been sensational on this issue. I credit you, Mayor Guardian, because ditto your leadership on this. I'm a big believer that the free market should be able to prevail, and that contraction is necessary because the jurisdiction is not a monopoly anymore. And I understand some of the contraction, but I think all of us, citizens, all of us in the media, all of us in any walk of life, we have to push back really hard when we see casinos close that should remain open. I mean, for example, the Showboat should remain open. People wanted to buy that.
Yep.
That had a balance sheet that was profitable. They had a cash flow that was absolutely doable, and the Trump Taj Mahal should be open.
Yeah, there's no question about it, and it's not fair to take away people's health benefits. Certainly, health cost is what's hurting every business in the United States. It's tough for the city. You got to find lower costs to do health, but you can't take away health from the people that made the profit for that business.
Let's open up the phone lines because it is your opportunity to ask the mayor, Don Guardian of Atlantic City. Carl, welcome to the program. Please ask the mayor your question. Jason, you're on. Go. I said Carl, but he's going to be right after you. Jason.
Okay, thank you very much. Love the show, Mr. Hurley. Mr. Mayor, nice to talk to you.
Hey, Jason.
I am an Atlantic City resident, and, I've been keeping close eye on the newspapers and the articles. And I'm very concerned about our police department. I've been hearing a lot of rumors and a lot of talk going on around, with the operation that they did in Camden. And I have a few relatives that live outside of Camden, and they say that, that the operation out there is just a complete failure. And not only am I reading articles that the actual move in Camden should have went to a vote, and that the county and city of Camden went ahead and did it before a vote. Are you in favor of a county police department? And if we do that, doesn't it have to go to a vote? And if it goes to a vote, do the city residents just vote, or do the whole county residents get to vote on it? And I'll hang up and listen.
All right, Jason.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jason, the concept of regionalization or shared service is something I do agree with, but it doesn't apply to our police department in Atlantic City. Atlantic City Police is not Camden Police. In Camden, the police department, the PBA, refused to negotiate with the city and the state, refused to lower costs, refused to come to the table, and so they dismantled them and formed the county police department. We have just the opposite here. We have a police chief that took over in December that has been nothing but cooperative. Then we have the head of the PBA, Paul Barbera. So Henry White's the chief, Paul Barbera is the PBA president. I don't think I have a more cooperative individual of all the presidents of all the unions that I work with in the city. When I asked him to give back 60 of the 75 cars, even though they had been taking them home. They gave back 60 cars. You didn't see a blue flu. You didn't see them bad-mouthing the city on social media. They did what was needed to be done. We're down 25 police officers, on the way down to 45. Again, no blue flu, no inflated rat. They haven't been protesting. They understand these are tough times. They've asked for new technology, which they are absolutely going to receive. As a matter of fact, as I speak tonight, I hope City Council is going to be passing a new CAD system, which is desperately needed. With that CAD system, it's going to change how the Atlantic City Police Department operates. Now you're doing patrols and you're responding to 9/11 calls. When this new program is up, they'll go to a ComStat program, which means that they're going to be analyzing in real time crime that goes on, and then they deploy the officers to prevent crime rather than just to catch up with crime. So the police department, extremely cooperative, understands that they have to cut costs, is willing to reduce the number of police officers that are there. In the meantime, the crime is down 41% for the first 6 months of this year, violent crime. And then on them working with the community, 38% is the reduction in the use of force, 35% is the reduction in people that are calling internal affairs. So this police department is not Camden. They realize that the city's going through tough times. They're willing to make a lot of concessions. Now we have to, put the rubber where it meets the road. First is some reduction in the actual number of police officers. Then we have to address some of the cost. The last police contract was very good for the city. It starts an officer at $45,000. They have a number of steps. They can go up to $90,000 that they max out on, and $15,000 is the max that they'll receive for sick time when they retire. So that's every police officer hired in the last 4 years.
Mayor, for many generations, it took 3 years to get to top pay. That was very, very quick.
Yes.
Then it was 7.
Yeah.
Now I understand was it 10 now?
It's 10
I mean, that's really, I have to say, as a twin brother of a former PBA president, this has been some of the, I think, most generous collective bargaining that I've witnessed, where usually the things you said were absolutely true. Usually you would have had a lot of pushback. So are you saying that for those who say this is a foregone conclusion, that there will be a county police department? If you have anything to say about it, that's not happening.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. And I'm telling you, the governor is very reasonable. When the governor and his staff talk about regionalization, they were under the impression that they were in the same boat that they were with Camden. And after meeting with so many of them on a regular basis, several times every week for the last 5 or 6 weeks, everyone knows what we're trying to reach. And that is keeping a police department that knows what we need in Atlantic City, and that's been doing a very good job.
You're listening to WPG Talk Radio 1450's monthly program, Ask the Mayor. Your opportunity to call in right now at 609-407-1450. We're streaming real time. Thank you, Kyle McCann. Tonight at WPG1450.com on our YouTube channel, so you can both watch and listen to the program in beautiful digital quality. Of course, you can tweet your questions in as well using hashtag WPG Ask the Mayor. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WPG1450. You can post your questions there, and we will definitely get your digital questions in. This is the market's leader in digital technology. We give respect to the digital participation every bit the same as if you call in at 609-407-1450. 12 minutes past the hour. Governor Christie at the top of the hour. Carl, you are next, and you're on the air right now with Mayor Don Guardian. Your question.
Okay, Mayor, my question is this. With 3,412 people collecting unemployment out 8,500, here's my real question. How many students have left Atlantic City? So would that mean Atlantic City school system will have teachers without students like another community on the mainland did for a couple of years ago? Or are there going to be layoffs in the schools? Because I can't believe there's not less students right now.
Carl, so you know, unfortunately, the mayor, city council is completely independent, or rather the school system is completely independent. It's the Board of Education that people vote on that make these these calls. I don't have the answer to your question, but I am going to, next month when I come on, be able to tell you how many students we had last year and this year, what the budget is, the number of teachers, so that I can answer it intelligently. But you have a very good point. What's going on with the school system, and how do we control costs? And that is a big issue. How do we provide better education, but how do we cut costs? Because we're way over the top with our Board of Ed.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure you will get the answer for me, because just common sense says there's got to be less students.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Carl. 609-407-1450. We have an open phone line. Let me give you some of our digital participation. This is a safety question. I think it's a good one. This is from Mike, and he is talking about 24-hour security on the boardwalk. When do you believe, he says, when the financing will be available? When could this happen?
Yeah, very shortly. What happens is right now we're asking CRDA to consider funding 30 Class 2 police officers, specifically for the tourism district, with 2 sergeants to maintain them. There's 60 ambassadors that currently on the boardwalk now. Generally, Harry, they start at 6 o'clock in the morning and they end at 10 o'clock in the winter, midnight on weekends. Then the summer they go to 2. What we're talking about is putting the Class 2 police officers on Atlantic and Pacific and Atlantic and covering it 24 hours a day. So the boardwalk, great numbers, very safe, but yes, there are fewer people there from 2 o'clock in the morning to 6, and we're talking about having coverage for 24 hours a day, Pacific Avenue, Atlantic Avenue, and the boardwalk.
609-407-1450 phone lines are open, and we're going to go back to more of your phone calls in just a little bit. We want to pay equal attention, though, to our digital participants. A question from WPG1450.com. This is from Shizlini, and I think it's a really good question. This listener is applauding, Mayor, the varying initiatives and markets that you're tapping into, believes you think outside the box, and you've expanded Atlantic City's horizons. And this listener is asking about what more you think you can do to tap into, for example, South Asian community. This says North Jersey has Edison, where Indian population and other South Asians have built a sort of a community and done some spirit of entrepreneurship and things. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so a couple of things. Clearly, we want to expand our airport. The cost is very cheap to come to Atlantic City Airport for an airline, about 10% of what it costs in either Philadelphia or Newark. So expanding the airport, we would love to have a direct service both to China and to Asia as well as Europe. I think expanding the market for Europe and Asia and India is going to be where the future of Atlantic City goes in terms of international travel. But at the same time, an international zone in Atlantic City makes a whole lot of sense. We all know that we have a growing Vietnamese, Bangladesh, Pakistani, Indian, Latino community. And so it's going to make sense to create a real type of international zone that favors the type of food, customs, clothing, products that reflect our new population.
Back to your calls for Mayor Don Guardian. 609-407-1450 phone lines are open. It's WPG Talk Radio 1450's monthly Ask the Mayor. We're approaching 17 minutes past the hour. We'll take one more call, get a quick break in, and come right back. We have a very important topic that we're going to broach right after the break, and we have an all-star friend who's going to join the broadcast at that point to share a concept that I just think could be very, very good for Atlantic City. We'll talk about that, keep that a little bit of a tease just for a little bit later in the program. Chaplain is next. You're on the air with the mayor. Go right ahead.
So good evening. How you doing, Mayor?
Hey, Chaplain. How are you?
Excellent. Can't complain. Another great day that the Lord has made. And I wanted to give you congratulations on your work and coming in the office. Yeah, I did come there last month quite a bit with training up new missionaries in Atlantic City to, run the food, clothing, and shelter drives and everything that we operate. And
thank you.
I did. Thank you for having me as well. And I did talk to City Council and, the United States Treasury, because our company has, $15 million for any of the projects that you all have. that are viable projects, sustainable, and of course dealing with green technology through the new market tax credit program. But I do want to say it's a good thing because we did get a response via email from someone in your administration in the planning department. But I just wanted to say, you know, there's a lot of energy from the federal government as far as the Treasury is concerned in order to bring revitalize the neighborhood and the whole county with anything that you all have that are going to be feasible projects that can be sustainable. And the good thing about it is that these jobs kind of are required to be hired from the county, so it won't be like some of the past issues where they were thinking, you know, some of the casinos weren't hiring people locally and everything. So, you know, we would just ask you to keep doing what you're doing, and please look out for us, at the Atlas Group and at the Mexican United. We just opened up with good brother Michael Cruz there down on 1119 Arctic. That's where the mission house is. I gave city council president everything, and they said that, you know, they work with us to bring you all those opportunities because, you know, you guys are not alone down there. I'm coming out of Philadelphia, and you guys are not alone. And we let you know that the U.S. Treasury through our, you know, community development entities are poised to help, you know, buffer through this transition period. And so please, you know, keep us in your thoughts and prayers, and we keep you guys in thoughts and prayers. We're also going to be healthy. You know, we're working with the Justice Department down there, you know, to deal with the hate crimes and people dealing with ethnic intimidation and, you know, killing people from the LGBTQ community and people from different ethnicities. So we'll be on the ground there as well in the springtime to deal with those hate crime issues and all those kinds of issues. So I'm Chaplain L. I just wanted to say hi to you, Mayor, and say, you know, keep on trucking, and we appreciate you.
Chaplain, thank you very much. We're really blessed. I'm blessed as mayor to have so many faith-based organizations coming in, helping us. I know, talking to long-term recovery, they completed the 100th home of individuals that fell through the cracks without insurance or FEMA money. I know we have 40 homes that they're trying to develop for this year, a redo, and then there's still another 100 homes that they haven't assessed yet, the needs there. But having several groups coming in every week to Atlantic City helping our residents is really wonderful, and I want to thank you for that.
Mayor, as you say, the faith-based community is always important, but in a time of need, of economic contraction and the significant economic realities that we're facing right now, it's more important than ever.
Yeah, and Harry, if I could just go off on a little bit of a tangent. So Local 54 and the labor from the governor's office started the Resource Center for people that have lost their jobs, to connect them for unemployment, connect them with food stamps, with the WIC program, to give them some mortgage relief, meaning holidays from paying the mortgages until they get a job. Followed that up with the governor sending down 60 companies that had offered 1,500 jobs during a job fair. At the same time, I had reached out to our faith-based community, and today we kicked off what we're doing, and that was, my question was, I know that the pastors, the ministers, the imams know much more than me the pain that people are suffering and how we can help residents, especially those we're talking about in the casino industry that lost their jobs. And so we're talking about in November, December, January, February, and March, especially if unemployment benefits run out and we're not able to place these people in jobs. How are we going to help them pay for the utilities, to have rent control, to help with food, to help with clothing? And so we kicked off today Together AC, and we're using the long-term relief group that's already in place. So every dollar that's raised is actually going to go back to help Atlantic City residents, Pleasantville residents that have lost their jobs at a casino that need some help.
Chaplain, thank you for the call. We're going to get a brief time out, and when we come back, we're going to touch on a topic that we've been talking about on Hurley in the Morning with the president and the chief executive officer of the New Jersey Broadcasters Association, my good friend and brother Paul Rotella, and he's going to join us as well as we broach this concept of a New Jersey Film Commission right here in the world's famous playground with Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian. This is Ask the Mayor. I'm Harry Hurley, and you're listening to WPG Talk Radio 1450. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
WPG Talk Radio 1450 is your dependable source for news and weather information here in South Jersey. Listen for the latest national news from Fox News Radio and the Fox Business Network. And now, listen for the latest South Jersey news and your local AccuWeather forecast every 30 minutes, all day long. It's the best in talk and local news you need every 30 minutes from WPG Talk Radio 1450 and WPG1450.com.
The Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is building a better future for our region through strategic initiatives to reposition Atlantic City as a clean and safe, multifaceted, year-round destination and community. Just because the calendar says summer is over doesn't mean the fun has to end. Enjoy Atlantic City's secret season with refreshing walks on the boardwalk and beach, great shopping at Tanger Outlets, an early morning bike ride on the boardwalk, spectacular bayfront views at historic Gardeners Basin, and much more. Exciting entertainment is on tap for this fall with championship boxing, AHL hockey, the annual classic car show, world-class concerts featuring Usher and Alanis Morissette, and free nightly 3D light and sound shows. Meanwhile, the CRDA continues to invest in Atlantic City with the repaving of Pacific Avenue, Atlantic Avenue facade improvements, and construction of nearly 400 new housing units, Bass Pro Shops, Harrah's Conference Center, and the Lighthouse District Park. Don't stop believing AC. Keeping you and your business safe and sound is the job of Abetas Security. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your safety. The company that keeps Atlantic City safe, Abetas Security, is a full-service security firm offering highly professional uniformed security officers, concierge, valet, event staff, and executive protection. Local business owners can rest assured that Abetas will customize a security plan based on the individual needs of your business, recognizing that each client and each property is unique. Abetas will come to your business and provide recommendations to maximize the return on your security investment. And its corporate headquarters are right in Atlantic City. Abetas Security uses all the advanced technology available today, and they're recognized as a leader in the field of security. Abetas Security is currently accepting applications for all positions. Go to abetassecurity.com to apply. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your safety. Abetas Security, 520 Pacific Avenue in the Bella Building, Atlantic City. Online at abetassecurity.com.
WPG Talk Radio 1450 presents Ask the Mayor, presented by the New Jersey Casino Reinvestment Development Authority and Abetas Security. To talk to Mayor Guardian, call 407-1450. Now, with Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian, here's Harry Hurley.
Hey, thanks. Welcome back to segment 2 of Ask the Mayor. Building a better future for Atlantic City, the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is proud to support today's Ask the Mayor program. And you just heard from Abetas Security. I had a great, short but sweet meeting with Greg and Chris from Abetas Security. They're awesome people. They have a great company in a very challenging environment. They're hiring in all their job classifications. So as you hear contraction in certain areas, keep your ears pierced wide open because there are opportunities, for example, at Abetas Security. I mentioned right before the break that Paul Rotella would join us, the president and the chief executive officer of the New Jersey Broadcasters Association. And this is really his vision. He has pitched it, I'm aware of, in several different locations around the state, including, of course, in Atlantic City, the idea of a New Jersey Film Commission based right out of the World's Playground, Atlantic City. Paul, welcome to the program. You're on the air with Mayor Don Guardian.
Good afternoon, Mayor, and good afternoon, Your Honor.
Hey, Paul.
Thank you, sir.
How
Paul,
are you, Mayor?
Take a quick minute or so, because we're a little bit tight on time, but take a minute or so to tell your listeners about the concept and why you think this is so viable and what it would mean.
Well, you know, when I go around the country, and I've worked, all over, but I've seen vibrant film industries right around the corner from us, Philadelphia, New York, and I'm wondering why we don't have something in New Jersey. We have a film commission, but we lost the tax credits that go along with it, and that's the only reason, except for a unique site location, for example, that a film company comes and does a film, and that could be for television or film. And so what I proposed was reinvigorating, the mayor and I talked about this, the Atlantic City Film Commission, and having the state authorize tax credits. So we could give state, we could give local, city, we can give even county tax credits to any project that comes into the Atlantic City Casino District. I'm not talking about making this statewide. I'm talking about making this just for Atlantic City. And it's a way really for the state to show a little appreciation. The billions of dollars of tax revenue that the state has enjoyed from Atlantic City. It's now time, I think, for the state to come back, step up to the plate, and say, look, we're going to do this. And let me tell you something. When you bring a film industry into a town, not only do you create buzz and excitement, you know, there's George Clooney walking around. There's, you know, Farrah Fawcett, or no, sorry, Farrah Fawcett. I'm thinking of, what's her name from Pretty Woman? But anyway,
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. You go, tell you how old I am, huh, Harry?
I'm here. I got your back.
How old I am.
Don't you worry.
Anyway, but no, you get that buzz. And then, not only that, but all the people that come in. Have you ever seen the trailer, by the way, of a movie? At the very end, you see the people who make a movie. Thousands of people go into making major motion pictures today. Okay, thousands of people. And they're going to need places to sleep and to eat and get their clothes clean, to do all those things that help the businesses along. But most importantly, it'll bring cachet, I think, to Atlantic City. And there's an ancillary benefit to this, too. A lot of these films make improvements. They leave in the region where they do the film. And I'm thinking about, you know, look at Boardwalk Empire. Wouldn't it have been nice to have a boardwalk up on the inlet, let's say, as opposed to the Basin District?
Paul, they wanted it here. If Mayor Guardian had been in then, it would be here. You wouldn't have to go to New York. They wanted it to be here. They tried to bring it here. We did everything we could because I think people didn't understand how big that was going to be. That would have been an industry by itself, Mayor.
Absolutely. Paul, you know, you've spoken to me about this. I think it's a great idea. When we talk about, you know, the new Atlantic City and you know, a new beginning, it's this type of out-of-box thinking that we need. And a film commission and bringing film industry down to Atlantic City is a wonderful idea. I hope we're able to consider the tax credits that we need from the state, because I think you're absolutely right. California, Pennsylvania, New York have gotten the market on this because of those tax credits.
How doable, because, you know, it's one thing to be talking about something that sounds great. There's some really nice friends of mine that work their tails off to try to bring the Hollywood Museum here to Atlantic City, and that would have been great, you know, but it didn't happen. How doable do you think this is?
Oh, I think it's on the table. I can tell you that. Here's the payoff, Harry, okay? For every dollar of tax credits, historically, across the country, $6 of revenue are generated. I know the mayor and I have talked about this before, and I know the mayor's behind it. Mayor, I can tell you this. In my journeys around the state, I've talked to a number of leaders in the administration, in the legislature, and all different, you know, thought leaders of real import across the state. And not one person has said to me, oh, forget it, it's a bad idea. In fact, I think we're getting that buzz I was talking about for this project. I'm not at liberty to say who, but some top administration people, some top people have listened to this, and they more or less indicated to me, quote, you know, everything's on the table for Atlantic City. So we won't have a dogmatic or reflexive objection to a tax credit when they see the real benefit here. And the benefit is bringing revenue into Atlantic City, which brings revenue into New Jersey. So I think we're going to make some, we're making some progress, but I think it's incumbent upon everybody, all the leaders in Atlantic City, thought leaders like Harry, Mayor, leaders like yourself with real, you know, institutional power, to keep this in front of everyone. I think we need to make sure that we have our leaders involved in this and support it. I think CREDA's behind it. I believe that the ACA would be behind it. I think the Casino Association should be behind it. But most importantly, we need to have Trenton behind it. And I think the legislature and the mayor and the governor rather have to get together and put this thing through. And I mean put it through right now. Because when I was in New Orleans in April,
let me throw out an idea. Not that I think as mayor of the morning I have any type of executive or legislative powers. Of course,
the bully pulpit.
I believe in term limits except for my own office, which is my term limit is for life. But I'm serious about this one, though. What if City Council, by resolution, I think we have a quorum at least, Councilman Tibbet, Councilman Mancuso, President Marsh, all the folks who are listening right now to ask the mayor, what if council does a resolution, call for the state to get behind this? And if the mayor, you know, signs an executive, you know, concept order to ask for this, if you're really for it, let's go for it. What do you think of that, Mayor?
I got it. You got me on board. I'm going to talk to President Marsh tomorrow morning. He's running City Council tonight, but I've not heard anyone against this idea. Everyone's for it, and I think it's job creation. It's a good fit for Atlantic City and Atlantic County.
A lot of coverage. It would bring a lot of excitement, media to Atlantic City. And Paul, do me a favor. Recite the economies of scale again. For every dollar, what comes in? Talk about Expense
$6
versus
of revenue. For every dollar of tax credits, you get historically $6 of revenue that comes in. Like I said, I was in New Orleans in April. There were 23 film projects going on in little old New Orleans, okay? They had their Katrina. We had our Sandy. But there are 23 projects are being done right now. Hotels were full. Restaurants were full. Shops were busy. It's remarkable because there's buzz, there's life, there's activity. And by the way, what a perfect compliment to the gaming industry, but film and television and radio, of course. What is a better compliment to these industries? They're natural together. And I can tell you something else, Mayor. The New Jersey Broadcaster Association, we put our money where our mouth is. I'll show you some love. We are having our board of directors meeting next week at the Knife and Fork in Atlantic City.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Mayor. Coming from all over the state. Okay, and that's under the leadership of Harry, our dear friend Dave Koski, who's my chairman this year, and under the leadership of my broadcasters. And by the way, Mayor, you should know, and I think you do know, and I want the people who are listening in Atlantic City to know, the New Jersey Broadcaster Association is in Atlantic City's corner. We know the value of the city, and we are committed to help it work.
Thank you, Paul.
Paul, great idea.
You're welcome,
Thank you.
Mayor.
And I'm telling
Thanks,
you,
Harry.
see you, Paul. Thank you. President, CEO, NJBA, Paul Rotella, great leader in this state, and he advocates all over the country, in Washington, everywhere, for New Jersey broadcasting. And I really do believe that, Mayor, a resolution from City Council, executive,
you got it. Absolutely,
would be just outstanding. Let's take a brief time out. A whole lot more. When we come back, I'm going to ask the mayor to give us the very latest, as he knows it, involving the new owner of Revel, Brookfield Property Partners, which is an affiliate of Brookfield Asset Management. I do know a lot about this company. I have to say, I definitely picked favorites. I am very happy with who won the bid, and I'll just say it, with who didn't win the bid. Nothing against Genius University, Mayor, but I'm really in favor of a full-fledged hotel casino operating again at that beautiful property. We'll get the mayor's thoughts in general, and if he knows or if he has an idea when he thinks Revel might reopen as a full-service hotel and casino. It is WPG Talk Radio 1450 at 35 minutes past the hour. You can join us, pose your questions to the mayor at 609-407-1450. Do what Jason did, Carl, Chaplin, Paul. Call in 609-407-1450, or you can tweet us, hashtag Ask the Mayor, WPG Ask the Mayor, and also email us at WPG1450.com, right from the website. Next month's program with Mayor Don Guardian, Ask the Mayor, Thursday, November 13th at 6 p.m. to mark it down in your daytimer.
WPG Talk Radio 1450 is South Jersey's talk station. Start your day with South Jersey's breaking news leader, Harry Hurley. Weekdays from 6 to 10. Then stick around for Glenn Beck from 10 to 1. More live and local talk with Scott Friedman from 1 to 3. Then drive home with Sean Hannity from 3 to 6. Plus South Jersey news and AccuWeather every 30 minutes all day long. WPG Talk Radio 1450 is South Jersey's talk station.
Keeping you and your business safe and sound is the job of Abetas Security. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your safety. The company that keeps Atlantic City safe, Abetas Security, is a full-service security firm offering highly professional uniformed security officers, concierge, valet, event staff, and executive protection. Local business owners can rest assured that Abetas will customize a security plan based on the individual needs of your business, recognizing that each client and each property is unique. Abetas will come to your business and provide recommendations to maximize the return on your security investment. And its corporate headquarters are right in Atlantic City. Abetas Security uses all the advanced technology available today, and they're recognized as a leader in the field of security. Abetas Security is currently accepting applications for all positions. Go to abetassecurity.com to apply. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your safety. Abetas Security, 520 Pacific Avenue in the Bella Building, Atlantic City. Online at abetassecurity.com. The Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is building a better future for our region through strategic initiatives to reposition Atlantic City as a clean and safe, multifaceted, year-round destination and community. Just because the calendar says summer is over doesn't mean the fun has to end. Enjoy Atlantic City's secret season with refreshing walks on the boardwalk and beach, great shopping at Tanger Outlets, an early morning bike ride on the boardwalk, spectacular bayfront views at historic Gardeners Basin, and much more. Exciting entertainment is on tap for this fall with Championship Boxing, AHL Hockey, the annual Classic Car Show, world-class concerts featuring Usher and Alanis Morissette, and free nightly 3D light and sound shows. Meanwhile, the CRDA continues to invest in Atlantic City with the repaving of Pacific Avenue, Atlantic Avenue facade improvements, and construction of nearly 400 new housing units, Fast Pro Shops, Harrah's Conference Center, and the Lighthouse District Park. Don't stop believing, AC.
WPG Talk Radio 1450 presents Ask the Mayor, presented by the New Jersey Casino Reinvestment Development Authority and Alphatus Security. To talk to Mayor Guardian, call 407-1450. Now, with Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian, here's Harry Hurley.
Thank you. Privileged to be with you. Phone lines are open, 609-407-1450. It's Mayor Don Guardian. Ask the Mayor of Atlantic City. We're brought to you by the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority, committed to Atlantic City's future. The Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is a proud sponsor of today's Ask the Mayor program right here on WPG Talk Radio 1450, as is Abatis Security. They'll keep you and your business safe and sound. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your safety with Abatis Security online at abatissecurity.com. And Chris are literally hiring in all of their different, and it's a myriad of job classifications that they have at Abatis Security. Mr. Mayor, we teased it right before the break, and listeners, do check in, and we'll go right to you when you call in at 609-407-1450. The new owner level, Brookfield Property Partners. Mayor, your thoughts?
So I have to agree with you, Harry. I think anyone that knows a little bit about the industry know that there's two key factors that we needed for Revel to succeed. One is you need a financial powerhouse. You got to come in there. It's not just $110 million. We all know that there are some things that you'd like to fix physically with the property. It's probably another $100 million to fix those things. And then you know that you got to have cash to keep the property going while you build up the business. And certainly the new owners have that capability. The second part of this is what Revel really didn't have. They didn't have the book. They didn't have the gamblers that came there. Bugatti opened up and they brought all of the books from both MGM and from Boyd, and very successful. I think the new owners, because of running the Atlantis Casino in the Bahamas, as well as the Hard Rock Casino in Vegas, bring that kind of background. And whether they choose the management team from either of those properties or the one that's in Australia, you're going to come with a very well-seasoned group of individuals that know how to manage this property. It's a beautiful property. And Harry, the bottom line, you know, we're not finance guys. We're not pushing the pencil, but just figure this. The old guys had to figure out on an hourly basis how to pay off $2.2 billion worth of debt. The new guys are going to come in, and even with the expenses, it's going to be under $200 million.
They bought it for $110 million cash.
$110 million.
And I've always felt that it wasn't going to be the first operator because $2.4 billion was just ridiculous debt service. Even the second owner, it really wouldn't be. And of course, Wells Fargo didn't want to be in the hotel business, as Morgan Stanley did not want before them. So it would be the third owner that would get it 4 cents on the dollar, and that really has a chance here.
And likes casino business.
Yes.
So, you know, they didn't dump the properties that they had when they were able to foreclose. They foreclosed, they kept them, they made them successful. And so I think you're going to find a winner here. They are going through bankruptcy now, but I promised to call in, Harry, as soon as they're comfortable with releasing some of this information. I'll call into the station. I'll give you an update.
Appreciate that.
I think you're going to see them opening up sooner than we think, and hiring again, which is so critical for the whole South Jersey.
Back to your calls for Mayor Don Guardian. It's Ask the Mayor, WPG Talk Radio 1450. 42 minutes past the hour. The mayor will be here until exactly 7 o'clock. He usually gives us 5 minutes of overtime. This is the first time we've had the perfect storm, the double header of Mayor Guardian and Governor Christie back to back on all Town Square Media radio stations throughout the state. Right at 7, we will go to Ask the Governor with Governor Chris Christie. So we'll go back to the normal schedule of that 5 minutes of bonus time next month when we reconvene with Mayor Guardian on Thursday, November 13th at 6 p.m. Put that down on your schedule because it is time very well spent. We receive awesome feedback from you. Jitney Guy, I want to let you know, I know you're out there. I'm going to share your digital question. You've been one of the most faithful, great listeners that participates in the way that we love it at Town Square Media, both as a listener on terrestrial radio, but you're right there on the digital platform and getting social with WPG Talk Radio 1450. And we have a great question from Jitney Guy coming up after Bruce's call. Bruce, you're on the air with the mayor.
Thank you for taking my call. I was just wondering if the mayor is aware that Atlantic City Electric is planning to move its regional operating center from Mays Landing to Newark, Delaware. And these are the people that are responsible for getting people out to pole accidents and managing the electrical system in Atlantic City in South Jersey. And didn't know if he was aware of that and what his plans were for trying to influence Atlantic Electric to keep that facility there.
Bruce, that'll be a phone call for me tomorrow morning. As soon as I have a break in my day, trying to find out. This is the first time I've heard of this, Bruce. And I'll tell you what, not tomorrow, the following morning, I'll make sure to call Harry up in the morning and give you what I find out.
Thank you, Bruce.
But that's certainly not good news.
Thank you very much. And incidentally, I'm not even sure that it's true. It's not to say that it couldn't possibly be true. One thing I do know, and full disclosure, they're a longtime client of mine, but I have great friendships at the highest levels. I know this much. Their service level to this region, whether it was the derecho, Hurricane Sandy, the new lights on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, and everything that they do, they're not going. Atlantic City Electric is not going to abandon Atlantic City.
Right.
You don't want to bury the lead. It's in the name of the title.
And the parent company is well respected. That board at Atlantic Electric.
Let's go back to your call. 609-407-1450. Caller, you're on the air with Mayor Don Guardian. Go right ahead. Caller, yes.
Myself?
Yep, it's you.
Yeah, listen, I have a statement and also have a question. And one of the statements I want to ask is, the question is population. That's very important. Now, about 1980, how many people did we have in this city? 40,000 people?
About that.
Yeah. How many people do we have in it's what, over 30 years later?
Same.
How many people we have in Atlantic City now?
Same, 40,000.
That's no growth.
No growth.
That's what we need. We have no growth.
Absolutely.
Why don't you, look across the country to Vegas. Vegas started out with 200,000 people. All right, it's a lot of people. But they've got over 1 million now. You've got to have growth. And you've got to get people into this city that can make it grow. Why? You got to get businesses in here.
Absolutely.
Now, why do you think? Now, I'm going to bring up another point. Why do you think the businesses in Vegas very rarely go out? They don't come in and out in 6 months, but they do here. Why? Because the businesses don't have a chance.
Well, time out a second. When the bottom fell out in real estate, which it definitely, we had I will call it a depression maybe, or rather a recession in real estate. Nevada had a depression. They had a great depression. I'm going to push back on this caller and say, what are you talking about? There were casinos closing like crazy. People forget that. One thing I've noticed over the last 25 years of doing this, Mayor, is that Vegas can be up and we can be in a little bit of a slump. We can be up. They seem to be in a slump, and this is cyclical to me in nature. But I think this is completely inaccurate to say that they didn't have any issues. They had, you look at the foreclosures, you look at the bottom falling out on people's real estate value. They had all kinds of structural issues in Vegas. That's just not an accurate statement. It isn't. Your thoughts, Mayor? He gave you 2 questions. The first one was, what can you do to bring people back into Atlantic City? And I would also say, and you were right on top of it, Mayor, 40,000 then, 40,000 now. It's not like 40,000 then, 10,000 now. I think based on the half a haircut the leading industry has taken, we're holding firm.
Right. So 2 issues. One is we have to definitely be job creators again. And so, the Bass Pro, the new conference center at Howard, the expansion that Trop World is part of it. That's why we're pushing so hard for the college to come in to create a university in Atlantic City. And I think you'll hear some good news as the information comes through on the new owners of the pier and what they're going to be doing. That's the Caesars Pier that I'm talking about. And of course, there are several people looking at both Atlantic Club and Showboat. I think by the time I come back in November, we'll be able to talk distinctively about what's going to happen there. So one is job creation is necessary. Number two is we've only built 51 houses in the last 5 years. By the end of this year, in December, we're going to have 500 new homes under construction. They'll be groundbreaking for 500 units. And so some of those homes are clearly to replace homes that no longer meet the needs of the residents of Atlantic City. And some of that's going to be new homes to attract new people. Clearly what's going on, the first time since World War II, you have kids in college that now want to live in urban environments. They don't want to live in the suburbs. And so there is a whole housing project specifically geared for that 20 to 45. The amenities include the stainless steel appliances and the granite countertops and the hardwood floors, the swimming pool, the courtyard, those type of amenities. And that's where we need to go. We need to be ahead of the game in what Americans want in terms of housing. And then certainly the fact that they're on the boardwalk, the beach, and the great boating and sailing.
49 minutes past the hour, coming into the home stretch. Back to your calls at 609-407-1450, but we've been alternating between on-air calls, which we love, and your digital participation, which we equally love. And Jitney Guy, it's your time in just a moment. I do want to say something. It is now 40,001 because my sister just bought a home in Atlantic City, your newest resident, Mr.
Thank
Mayor.
you. Thank you.
Say hello to Karen.
Welcome, Karen. Welcome to Atlantic City.
And she's listening right now. Karen, you got airtime. You're famous. All right, Jitney Guy. Love your participation. Let me start there. Hashtag WPG Ask the Mayor, his digital participation. It's a great one, Mayor. And I know how sentimental you are, and we both are, about Gardner's Basin, Garwood Mills, Captain Starnes, all these things we all grew up with. Will there be any development at these areas anytime soon?
Okay, so the bidding is done for the seawall, and the Army Corps of Engineers will start building a new seawall between Gardner's Basin and the Caspian Avenue Beach, and then another seawall between the T-jetty at the ocean, coming all the way back to Atlantic Avenue. It's going to be an 18-month period, but that will include a brand new boardwalk from the T-jetty. That's the ocean section of the boardwalk, all the way back and connecting into the current seawall at Gardner's Basin. So by the end of 2016, you'll see the boardwalk completed from Ventnor all the way back to Gardner's Basin for the first time since the 1944 storm. So that's the first part of that. Second part of that is we're piecing together all the properties. So the city now has Gardner's Basin as we know it. They also own the current Captain Starnes site. We are in attempts right now to acquire what was the Garwood Mill site. When the three are together, Elizabeth Taranek, our planning director, is putting together an RFP, and we intend to bring in a large developer that's going to come in and give us very much the what we think is for Gardner's Basin, which is that Baltimore Inner Harbor experience. We got the 24 acres. We think this is a way of selling the city, and it's another good thing. So residents are going to love this, and tourists are going to love it.
You know, when you mention a Baltimore Inner Harbor experience, anybody that's gone to a Baltimore Orioles game, that's been in that beautiful area, had crabs there right on the water. It is incredible, and we can absolutely do that, Mayor. And it will be popular.
And Harry, let me throw out for December. I'll be very happy to enter a discussion as part of this time on a cruise ship line that I'll be meeting with in the next 30 days.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
And I'll give you everyone an update on that.
I'm a veteran of one cruise, and I'm telling you, I love it. I can't wait to do it again, and I think we are going to be doing it again with Early in the Morning listeners. This is from Jackie Mayer, WPG1450.com. Question for you. And it's very polite, very nice greeting to you, Mayor, and to me. And Jackie loves what you've been saying tonight, and she heard you talk with me before about smaller coffee shops and other businesses, and she was excited about that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's exciting. You know, this summer, if we're talking people in Atlantic City, I tell you what they're saying. They said, you know, they went up to California Avenue, they walked on the beach, they found Bungalow Beach Bar, and they just went gaga and stuff. It was the best beach bar this side of Miami Beach. And I'm sure if you ask the family, they'll tell you, yeah, they modeled it right after the islands of Greece. Then if you're on Tennessee Avenue, if you remember what used to be the old Maloney's, before that it's the Pittsburgh, it opened up at the perfectly innocent amusement company. Unbelievable old games from the 1980s, incredible food, great craft beers. Then right down at the Walk, there's a brand new craft beer place, great sandwiches as well. You see the expansion over at Vagabonds in the Heights, just a great place to visit. And then, of course, the ACBC did a great job with their Iron Room. So these are all new hotspots in Atlantic City. We have a couple of people that are pitching coffee shops, both name brands and locals that want to come up on the boardwalk. I think that's the perfect fit. And I think as you see with whatever decision's going to be made with Trump Plaza coming out of the governor's summit, I think that's going to be a great opportunity to expand the walk to the boardwalk. So the first time you're going to be able to come into the city and you're going to be able to see right down to the beach boardwalk and dunes.
Mayor, are there any other outreach programs that will benefit Atlantic City that you can talk about?
Sure. So I mentioned Together AC, and again, I'm so blessed that so many faith-based organizations are jumping in. I mean, basically, a pastor should be taking care of his flock spiritually, but the fact that in Atlantic City and in Pleasantville, we have so many pastors, imams, rabbis that are going beyond that to really help people with their physical needs. So Together AC is one part of that for people that are unemployed. Second part is we have a mayor's job placement program. We have Eric Reynolds. He'll be opening up officially the first week of November. We have jobs coming in Bass Pro, in the Harris Convention Center, down at Tropicana, and Eric is a pro. He did a wonderful job over with Borgata some 12 years ago. 2,100 jobs he was able to put people in that had really previously been unable to find work. So I think Eric's going to do a great job. Those are two programs that you'll see coming up in the next 30 days.
Jitney Guy wrote in on Twitter, getting some love from @Harry Hurley on hashtag WPG Ask the Mayor. I know you're big on this, Mayor. You're big with technology. It is amazing because we're asked to do more with less. Yes. We have to embrace
no question.
The technology.
Yep. Yeah, and Harry, I just want to reach out. All of the presidents of unions that represent workers in Atlantic City, they've really gone overboard. So I'm talking about the PBA, I'm talking about the firefighters, I'm talking about blue-collar union, the white-collar union, the lifeguards, Beach Patrol. Everyone understands the situation we're in, and they're all coming up with ways to save some money. I've got some $20 million going into next year's budget, $15 million at a minimum. And
do you know how you're going to do it?
We do. I'm waiting.
How painful is it going to be?
We're at 82 people that have, through attrition, retired, is no longer in the city. So that's the first 80 positions. We're looking at about 60 more that we see are going to be retiring before the end of the year. And then we're going to have about 60 or 80 positions. Some of them will move from one government agency to another, because in cases where the county can do a job where they're doing with other cities, we're going to ask them to do it for Atlantic City. But we have to trim the cost. There's no way that we can have a tax increase next year for the residents.
What's the fewest police officers, total police personnel number that you could possibly live with?
285.
285.
And listen.
And you don't like that, I can tell.
No, I don't like it, but that's the minimum. When I say 285, we're talking about 60 SLEOs. So we need 60 Class 2 officers to support our police department, and we need civilians in the police building to put police officers back out on the street.
The police seem to be like the headline, A-lister, if you will, and the firemen seem to, not that they're at all B-list, but you don't hear as much. There'll be some contraction there too, won't there?
Yes, but they're just coming to the table, so it's really unfair. I've actually visited several fire companies, sat down with our firefighters and told them, I mean, the key is $6, $7, $8, $9 million. That's what we're trying to trim with fire. And they're coming up with a number of ways that other cities are doing it, and that's what we're really looking at.
2-minute drill with Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian is Ask the Mayor. We visit monthly with you. The purpose of this program is for you to have the opportunity to participate directly with the mayor of Atlantic City with your email questions, your other forms of digital and social media questions, and of course at 609-407-1450. We're going to shut down the phone lines. I want to give the mayor an opportunity for a closing comment. I'm going to feather a question in with it. Just a reminder, coming up right at the top of the hour, my good friend Governor Chris Christie with Ask the Governor. That's coming up in just a moment on all Town Square Media radio stations throughout the state. Stay tuned though right now to WPG Talk Radio 1450, where we'll have it from beginning to end right here. Mayor, in terms of the shoulder season, which we're in now, and then into the tough season where it gets very challenging, what do you think this winter, this off season is going to look like?
It's going to be a tough winter. There's no question about it. We're going into happy times now. Next 2 months, all your big conventions and conferences are coming into town. So it's going to be good through Thanksgiving. Then we're really working, and I appreciate the people at CRDA and Meet AC, because we're talking about bringing 10 to 15 major performances to Boardwalk Hall. I also tell you, Harry, that I'm very, very lucky, and I'm honored that I'm on just before the governor, but this is a governor who loves Atlantic City, the summit that he's created and coming back to help us.
No one's given more time or more support to Atlantic City than Governor Christie.
Absolutely, and just yesterday he was able to get everyone back in the Senate to come up with a wonderful economic impact. I'm sure he'll be talking about it for Atlantic City and for Camden.
Mayor, thank you. We look forward to reconvening during the month of November, Thursday, November 13th at 6 p.m.
Look forward to seeing you then. Always want to thank Town Square Media, and thank you, the Mayor in the Morning on WPG Talk Radio, 1450 AM.
Thank you, Mayor Guardian. Governor Chris Christie is next. On behalf of our market president, Mike Rubel, our executive program director, Chris Coleman, our executive producer and digital editor for Town Square Media, Kyle McCann. And when you see all those great shots and all the great digital, that's Kyle. I'll see you Hurley in the morning. Have a great night.
Savage and the Savage Nation, weeknights at 9 on WPGG Atlantic City 101.5.
Now, the Lester Glenn family of dealerships presents Ask the Governor. Chris Christie has been busily campaigning